I want to show you one more thing. On an image like this, there's some straight edges, but there's a lot of edges where I'd be using my paintbrush to do the work rather than making selections. So you can see that we have a wide variety. This would be a great image for colorizing. We've got all these nice straight lines. We could colorize each of these bricks in a different way. But let's look at those trees more specifically. So what I want to do is upsize my photograph so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to do Command plus to upsize. I may have gone a little big. Let's move over here to where we want to work. And we're going to work on those trees. Okay, so those trees right there. So this is a perfect place for painting with our paintbrush. You can use any of the methods, but I'm going to start with method number 2 because that's my favorite. I know I want my trees to be a brownish color. So I'm going to come over here to my adjustments. I'm going to click on Hue and Saturation. I'm going to click the Colorize box. I'm going to pump up the hue a little bit. Not a little bit. Let's see here. What do we want for brown? Try to find something in there. Ah, that's looking pretty good. Okay, so we're going to hit Command I on the keyboard to hide the color from the hole. I'm going to grab my paintbrush. And remember, you can always hit B on your keyboard to get your paintbrush. I'm going to use the bracket keys to downsize my brush. And then I can just start painting where I want my color. Now, really quickly, I should have checked my options bar because I see that my opacity is only at 55%. I want to take that all the way up to 100%. I'm just going to repaint over what I just did. This way, it's going to give me more leeway for how I want to play with this down the road. Like, I can reduce the opacity of the overall by using the layers. I can play with my blend modes a little bit more easily. It just gives me more control. So as you can see, I'm just kind of coming in here and painting away. Now remember, if I make a mistake, I don't use my eraser tool here. I would use black. I'd paint with black because I'm using a layer mask. Okay, so that's looking pretty fun. Now let's add a green. So I'm going to do another hue and saturation. I'm going to tick the colorize. I'm going to move the hue over to the green, and I'm going to pull the green down. Maybe that's too much. Command I. And now let's just paint some green in here. So I think you're getting the idea. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a couple of different greens to make the tree look a little bit more realistic. I'm not taking a great deal of time to do each and every individual leaf. Depending on what it looks like, I might do something like that. Okay, so let's pick another hue and saturation layer. Command I. And I can come in here and paint with a different green. So now I've got a couple of greens going. It's looking a little more realistic. Now, if you don't like the green that you just chose, you can always, on the fly, change that color. So I can do that just by moving this. You can see it's blue now, but I was kind of liking that. A little bit of intensity there, back and forth. So you can change the colors on the fly, so you're not committed to any one color. So you can see what we're doing here. Like I said, if I do something really horrible, I can always just hit X on my keyboard to switch me back and forth. It toggles me between black and white. And I can come in here and take some of that off of there, like right in here where I was definitely not on a leaf. And I'm just kind of having some fun here. And then I can switch back to this one and paint. So if I paint with the right color on the foreground. So I can hop back and forth between these and just kind of like dance it up a little bit. Have some fun with it. So it's starting to look a little bit more lifelike and lively. Okay, so that's hue and saturation. So let's put this brown tree. This is muted green. And this is brighter green.